Hi, I'm Johnny from Wheelbase, and this is the Orbea Gain E road bike. Lee Williams from Orbea U.K. is going to join us today and give us the lowdown on this sublime E road bike.
Johnny.
Thanks for joining us. Why don't you talk us through the Orbea Gain?
Yeah, so the Orbea Gain is our e-electric road offering. We first introduced the Gain into the market in model year 2018, which was extremely lightweight, less than 13 kilos. We was using a hub-driven motor, which had a lot less friction, which meant you could ride the bike turned off, and then you put that in a package, which essentially is a beautiful package, which looks like your everyday road bike.
So Lee, one of the fantastic things about the Gain is how beautifully integrated the drive system is. So you've already mentioned we've got a hub-driven rear motor, but the battery's internal, and where are the controls on the Gain?
So yeah, as you said, rear motor, hub-driven motor on the back, but then internal battery, which is sort of, I guess you could say, is more comparable to modern day tubing. So a 250 watt battery internally. And then the controls are actually just an iWalk 1 controller, which is just a little simple one button controller on the top tube.
Brilliant.
And the idea is it doesn't really affect what is in front of you from a viewage standpoint. You know, the front of the cockpit, let's say, had to feel more like what you would get in your regular acoustic bike, which is just your display and having the controls on the top tube.
So yes, conventional gearing on the bike, double chain set at the front, rear cassette, all the controls as normal through the Shimano shift levers, and then this button that's basically going to toggle through the modes of the motor. How many modes are there, and how does it kind of amplify the ride?
Sure, yeah, so as you said, just everything in terms of this bike is using just the sort of standard road componentry, and the assistance is controlled by the toggle, as you mentioned. And then there will just be 3 assistance modes. So you'll have a level 1, level 2, level 3. People normally try to transmit that in terms of like your eco, your sort of mid-range, and then your boost. So level 1 is generally around 40% of its maximum motor power. Level 2 is 70% of the motor power, with level 3 being the full 100% of what the motor will deliver, which in this case with the X35 is the 40 Newton meters torque. And
so there's a range extender available as well, Lee?
Correct, yeah. They can opt to have the 208 watt range extender, which is going to give them about 70% more range of what you would be getting with the internal battery on its own. So amplifies your ride, potential. So the range extender is ultimately in a bottle cage, so you can just sit on the frame. Most people will use it on the C-tube and run a regular bottle on the front end. It plugs straight into the charger port. And this is ultimately going to be a drip feed to the main battery. So your power is being drawn from the main battery, and the range extender is going to keep topping that up. So every time you come to traffic lights, you're not in assistance level mode, you're on a downhill, or you just stop. Or running the bike in non-assistance, this is just going to be feeding that main battery.
So Lee, Orbea actually very kindly flew me out to Spain earlier in the year, and I spent a bit of time on the carbon fiber version of the Gain, riding with some very fast lads from Orbea. And I have to say it was amazing, because it just felt like you on a really, really good day. It amplified your riding in a really natural way. We were actually riding in the Pyrenees, so we were on these long, gradual climbs with plenty of hairpin bends. It was so much fun. And this fast lad, I sort of tried to stay with him, and we kind of worked together. And I actually found myself almost breaking into the hairpin bends. We were going that fast. And I was working hard, and I had my heart monitor on. I could see my heart rate was just as high as normal. It's just we were going that much faster. I just felt like a sort of a rider from the 1990s fueled up on EPO. It was great. So Lee, I've noticed it's a really broad range of bikes within the Gain. You've got your H models, which are the alloy ones, and the M, which is the carbon. I've also noticed there's some really interesting specs going on there. Some are actually spec'd as gravel bikes. Yeah,
so we do. There's 6 carbon models, 5 aluminium models. In the carbon range, you can go for 2x options, or you can go for the 1x options, which some gravel riders a favour in. But again, the aluminium models will have 1-by and 2-by options as well. But this bike is really an all-road bike. We don't see it as being an out-and-out road bike. We don't see it as being a full gravel bike. We want to have that flexibility to be comfortable in both situations.
What sort of rider do you see using this bike or getting the most out of it?
I think it varies quite broadly, actually. You know, you can go from, let's say, somebody that's rode their entire life, and maybe that the geography of the location that they used to riding in day in, day out is becoming more and more challenging as the years go by, in which case this doesn't take away the ride experience. It's just giving them that little bit of nudge that they need. They can be riders that's just coming off injury, maybe need to monitor it in terms of heart rate features or their resistance level or strain through joints, muscles in some cases, right through to people that just want to get back in the in the road group again, you know, and be less troubled by geographical challenges, you know.
So basically, the Gain is an incredibly versatile e-road bike that you can use for road or gravel, maybe even go out and do some multi-day kind of adventure riding on it with your luggage on there. It's just a really versatile bike. Thank you for talking us through it.
You're welcome, John.
Cheers, Lee. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Cheers, man.